It is so fun to go to a travel bookstore before you go away. Now, there are two things I love about the place that I'm going. One is it's the only city in the world that straddles two continents. You can actually walk from Europe to Asia. The other thing is the history. It's been known as Byzantium, Constantinople. I mean, you can't get more exotic than that. I've always wanted to go there. I've got my books, and I'm off to Istanbul. Even to the just-arrived jet-lagged eye, the skyline of the modern city is rich with the splendor of ancient empires, tucked into a teeming metropolis of 15 million people, at the point where one continent poetically ends and another begins. Istanbul itself is tucked into the northwest corner of Turkey. A few hundred kilometers to the west is Greece. A few thousand to the east, the vast expanse of Asia. The actual dividing line between Europe and Asia is a narrow strait called the Bosphorus. First up, Topkapi Palace, home to the sultans for 4 centuries. So I'm looking, I see, it's 15 million Turkish lira to get into the museum, 15 million Turkish lira to get into the treasury, which is unbelievable, 15 million to get into the harem, which is a must-see. But I'm the stupidest person about currency you'll ever meet. So, let's see, I think it's, for an American dollar, 1.13 or 31 is the exchange rate, and I'm going to have to take out another mortgage or get a calculator or get some serious help. Well, I was right, give or take 6 decimal points. Oops. Still, it costs about $50 to see all 3 sections of Topkapi, which is kind of a lot. This was the center of life at court of the Ottoman Empire after the conquest of Constantinople in the 1450s. A city unto itself at a time when the great capitals of Europe trembled before the military onslaughts of the great sultans. But sad to say, it's kind of an empty shell now. Jewels the size of golf balls lie lifeless in little caskets. Just the other day, I actually saw a more interesting visual display at Walmart.
The reason they were black.
Okay, hold on.
You know why they were
No,
black?
okay, tell me about the black.
You see that they were black because of the...
Now, what could be juicier than the lowdown on what really went on with the eunuchs and the Sultan's wives they guarded? But our guide leaves the exotic tale lifeless and drones on so much I'm starting to wonder if it's too early for a beer. People desperately try to escape the tedium, but he hunts them down.
Excuse me! Hello?
Even the bathroom fixtures are gone. Actually sneaking out early from the harem tour, which you have to take a guided tour. Hard to believe you could make a harem filled with fighting concubines and black eunuchs, and not all that interesting. This is the Spice Bazaar, also known as the Egyptian Bazaar. The crowds and sights and smells are a delight to the senses. Time was, Istanbul was smack dab in the middle of the legendary spice route, which brought exotic spices from the Far East to Europe. How much is the pepper?
Pepper, kilo price 12 million.
12?
Black pepper, yes.
12 million
yes, it
for
is.
a kilo?
Yes, for 1 kilo.
Which
exactly.
is like $1 or something. Oh no, the exchange rate thing again. Run, fast!
We don't use 3 zeros, it's difficult.
Now the hundreds of stalls dispense everything from Indian pepper to shawarmas. And there is legendary candy.
I'm sorry for you.
Famous Turkish delight.
It's not sweet, it's just sweet.
It's delicious. But it seems what everyone sells now gives new meaning to the term Turkish delight.
Time is in the night.
Turkish Viagra. You make what in the night? How many times?
10 times in the night, no stopping.
Do you think I believe that?
Yeah, of course. But me, I don't need this.
No, I'm sure you don't need it. You don't look like you'd need it. But there might be some old men that need Turkish Viagra. Everyone is flogging these aphrodisiacs. It's crazy. So this is the Sultan's paste. Takes its name from Suleiman the Magnificent, the most glorious of the Ottoman sultans. And he had the largest harem in history. I guess if you've got any kind of a problem, you just spread this on your toast. You would think Turkish women would be walking around with smiles on their faces and a radiant glow. Okay, time for some serious sightseeing now. Istanbul is home to some of the great architectural wonders of the world, like the Süleymaniye Mosque. This spectacular building, the Süleymaniye Mosque, is the most important mosque in Istanbul. And along with the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, forms a trio of architectural masterpieces in this city. It was built by the great Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent by his personal architect, Sinan, who was pretty magnificent himself, an extraordinary person. He's described as the Michelangelo of the Ottoman Empire. He built 350 buildings, lived to the age of 97. He's actually buried, his tomb is at this mosque. And when it was opened in 1557, he was accorded the huge honor of opening the gate. It's a wondrous sight. The huge dome, twice as high as the floor's width. The soaring space recalls the Ottoman Empire's golden age, the height of its martial and artistic achievement in the 16th century. Suleiman's armies were at the gates of Vienna, threatening to sweep across Europe. While at home, Sinan and the artisans created beautiful things like this. You may have noticed I am totally into this Europe-Asia side-by-side thing. So this morning I'm going to spend sailing to and fro across the Bosphorus with my trusty guide, whom I call Billy. His real name's Bülent. There's a nice breakfast on board.
Like a bite?
Some ancient Turkish tradition, no doubt.
What's it called again?
Post. We just call it post.
It is a simple pleasure to watch the shoreline go by, erupting with palaces and minarets. And in a very few minutes, I'm in Asia, just like that.
So we're in Asia now.
Yeah, we're in
Piece
Asia,
of cake.
you see? Just only 20 minutes.
The start of a whole new continent. And that is so neat. A quick ride up the hill takes us to a panoramic view of the city, which the smog intrudes on. But I have the best time with these street kids selling postcards and stuff, but who apparently have a very keen interest in Sony digital technology.
One. What? Hey. One. No. Somebody pause for me. Here, okay. 1, 2, 3. There. Oh, see?
Aa, kendini gördü.
But there's still much to be seen, and it's back to the ferry.
It's incredibly cheap and a wonderful thing to do, to just hop on the ferries, and basically you can ride along the Bosphorus, you can see the sights along the river, which are extraordinary, and just crisscross between Europe and Asia.
Is this another timeless Ottoman masterpiece? The former palace of a sultan or Roman emperor? Actually, it's our hotel, if you can believe it. The Four Seasons Istanbul is often nominated as the best in Europe. It used to be a prison, and legend has it if you look closely enough on the pillars and walls, you can actually see prisoners' scratches counting down the years. There are grander tulip festivals than this one in Istanbul, but it's such a lovely story. Just hang on till the on-camera.
We usually associate tulips with Holland, but tulips in fact originated here. They used to grow wild on the Asian steppes, and it comes from the old Turkish word for turban. There's a Persian legend that they actually sprang from the ground, watered by the tears of a jilted lover. They were taken back to Europe by the Austrian ambassador to Turkey and, of course, cultivated in Holland. The irony is that the Turkish tulips are mostly gone, that these are tulips that were brought back from Holland.
This is the hottest place in town for lunch, the best kefta in Istanbul, according to Billy, and we're lucky to get a table. Kefta are meatballs, ground beef. Or at least they told me it was ground beef.
This is perfect. After rushing around sightseeing in the Sultanahmet, Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, you can whip in here to the Köftecisi, sort of meatball house. Instantly on the table, they've got the specialty, which is meatballs and pickles, which look fantastic. Salad with beans. They got the celebrity endorsements. It's a celebrity diner.
And what better after a traditional Turkish lunch than a traditional water pipe or hookah? I'm afraid the scene does involve the use of tobacco, but it is only in the interest of experiencing local customs. The owner graciously comes over to instruct me in the finer points, but it takes a while to get a hang of it.
I got it now.
In this room full of men, because I don't think they get a whole lot of women here, they just sit silently puffing away for hours, staring blankly in a mellow kind of fog.
Is that real apple? Is that fresh apple?
You can choose from any number of flavors, and it is relaxing. But I'm wondering, if all these grown men are here, who is contributing to the gross national product on a weekday afternoon? I swear, it's just apple-flavored tobacco. It does mellow you out. It's hard to argue a North American afternoon of non-fat lattes and Pilates classes makes any more sense.
Well, for $3, you can have 3 hours of pleasure, relaxation, good company. You know, you can't put a price on fun. But the hectic life of a travel show host just unfortunately doesn't allow that much time. We gotta go. Kofta and salad is a fabulous lunch, but then there's the Four Seasons. And the executive chef, Kieran Hickey,
Welcome.
is here with me now. Just dropped in from Dublin.
With a couple of canapes.
A good Irish boy cooking
Irish
up
boy.
Turkish delights.
Yes, we've been playing around with the Turkish food a little bit, mixing with the international food and trying to come up with our own little take on things. So we hope you enjoy it.
So what have you got?
We have some chili shrimp, we have the regular international smoked salmon, and we have some Indian spice lamb. And if that wasn't enough for you, we have plenty more Turkish food in the kitchen.
In this setting, a bowl of gruel would be grand, but add Chef Hickey's artistic touch, and
It's delicious.
And now for a piece of shopping history, the Grand Bazaar.
I may finally have met my match. You know, there are more than 4,000 shops here. This is seriously going to the mall.
This maze of shops has only been here since about 40 years before Columbus discovered America. It's the Spice Bazaar's older and grander cousin. The clothes and jewelry are as good as anything you will ever see, with prices to match. The world's oldest mall might just be the best. And as a bonus, the shopkeepers are hilarious. They not only have great stuff, but it's like they all went to stand-up comic school.
No, I'm just looking, thank you.
I'm just selling.
Hello. Yes, I'm sure. Gets me afraid to make eye contact. You're doomed. Oh my gosh. 10 billion smiling Turkish men. Come here, my dear. Hello, yes, lovely, lovely. Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh. Nice to meet you too.
They are ever so witty and charming, but I managed to escape with my credit rating intact. I have my eye on one prize.
Hello, can I help you?
Oh, I'd love to learn about carpets.
Very good. We have some beautiful carpets and great prices for you. Come on in.
I bet.
All right.
Our guide to the wonderful world of Turkish carpets is Metin, whose family has sold carpets for 5 generations.
Quality rugs in the world.
His shop is like an art gallery. It's a 16th century lodge once used by the old spice route traders, and it's full of works of art, really.
Silk, pure silk.
How much do rugs cost? What's the range?
There are carpets anywhere from, say, like $100 up to several $100,000.
The ceremony slowly unfolds. First, a few of the finer details.
And as we will walk towards the other side, can you see that?
Yeah, I see.
Like
Changes
day and night
completely.
differences.
Yeah.
Then, the business side kicks in.
That's
Do you
it.
bargain?
You can't buy a carpet without bargaining. It's the charm.
If I want this one, I love that silk one. Can I walk on it?
Sure, we can walk
With my
on
bare
everything.
feet?
Even with your shoes,
No, but I wanna
probably
walk-
it will look nicer with the bare feet.
Yeah. Ooh, need a pedicure. It's really beautiful. What's the very best price, Metin?
Well, I know what the tag says, but I
Yeah.
can't say you what the tag says. The best,
Okay.
The best price is still pretty breathtaking.
Is that lira
That's-
or dollars?
that's dollars.
That's U.S. dollars?
This time it's dollars.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Let me get you a cup of tea. It'll help you to digest the price you heard.
And so we move on to delicious apple tea and more chat and charm. More carpets come out. He says there was a mountain of carpets when Madeleine Albright came, but ultimately I reluctantly decline. Very grateful for the lesson in a Turkish custom and an hour of Turkish hospitality.
Well,
You know.
anyway, we may be just content with tea then.
Of course, why not?
And then the best for last, the last 2 jewels in Istanbul's crown. The Blue Mosque, completed at great expense in 1616.
This is one of the most beautiful and famous places of worship on this planet, of any faith. The Blue Mosque takes its name from these extraordinary blue isnit tiles. There are 22,000 of them made specifically for this mosque. I guess most people don't get the privilege of leaving their fingerprints on them. Look how many they stole here.
Vandals have made off with more than a few of the priceless tiles over the centuries. Who would do that? And people worship here. It's not just a museum. I've not spent that much time in Muslim countries, and it is wonderful to see the face of Islam in these handsome old men and fathers with their sons, as they tolerantly allow us to record their afternoon prayers. They then let me sneak up the 170 stairs, and trust me, I counted every last one, to the top of one of the mosque's minarets. I am standing at the top of one of the 6 minarets of the Blue Mosque. This is just absolutely unbelievable. This is the only mosque in Turkey that has 6 minarets, and when it was built, it was seen to be a bit over the top and ostentatious. The story is that when the Sultan spoke to his architect and was ordering up the plans, he asked for a gold minaret. But the word for gold in Turkey sounds like the word for 6, alta, alten, and so he ended up with 6 minarets and not a gold one. And then the church called Hagia Sophia, or Divine Wisdom, a stunning legacy of the Roman Empire. Somewhere on this floor, the Roman Emperor Justinian might have sat when the church was opened in the 6th century. Not until the genius of Michelangelo 1,000 years later would it be surpassed by St. Peter's in Rome.
Just brings tears to your eyes.
It's not full of incredible works of art, but as someone once wrote, age cannot wither her. What began as a church became a mosque and is now a museum. It's a wonder it is still here at all. This building has been here since 537. It was a church for 916 years. It was a mosque for another 481. It's been a museum for almost 70. It is staggering in its size. The dome is beyond belief. It was unsurpassed for 1,000 years. And when you think of what it's been through and what it's seen, crusades and conquests and world wars, earthquakes, there must be some divine intervention at hand. It's a miracle it's still standing. It is worth the additional charge to see the second floor. A Viking carved this inscription in the railing. Even the graffiti here is 1,000 years old. If you come up to the second floor of the Hagia Sophia, to the south gallery, you pass through these marble gates, which date from the time that this was a church. They're called the gates of heaven and hell. But the amazing thing is, if you keep going, right around the corner here is one of the most famous images in devotional Christian art. It is just staggering to look at. The Desis mosaic from the 12th century and the image of Jesus Christ. It's unbelievable. There is time for one last dinner before the long and painfully early drive to the airport for the Alitalia flight back home. But I would not have missed this for the world. Billy, Mateen, and my daughter on a school break. I will never forget the first sight of the dome in the Hagia Sophia or the touch of those tiles in the Blue Mosque. But as a final thought, there are loads of cities deeply impressed by their historical significance. Istanbul is not one of them. Just look at these faces. I think this scene says, yeah, this is our crazy home. And how nice it was that we could share it with you.
Your picture's in here?
Bir dakika çekme bak.
You're in this book?
Şapkayı giyeyim dur.
Yeah, let me see your hat. Olur ki burada olur. Yeah, it's him. See? Ah, yeah, now I see. Now I have to find the picture again. Where is it? Oh, there you are. That's